Hello and welcome back to day 5 of the Techno293 World Championships. It is looking amazing out there. You're joined with me, Kieran Holmes-Martin.
And I'm Rafty Reed, and boy, do we have a show ready for you here on day number 5 of the Techno293 World Championships here in North Wales, Pwllheli in the UK. What kind of day do we have here, Kieran?
It is looking beautiful out there. We have a cool 9 to 10 knots, offshore southerly wind conditions. It is looking very stable out there. It is going to be a tough day of racing. We currently have 3 races planned for the under 15 and the Techno Plus fleet, and 2 races planned for the under 15 and under 13 fleet.
And they are planned because we've actually almost reached the maximum amount of races here in the World Championships. A maximum of 16 races throughout this week will be sailed, and for, as you said, for the 7/8s and the Techno Plus, we are at 14. Quick maths, 13
yeah.
And then for the 6/8s and the rest, we are at 14 as they have 2 more races to go. So this is the pressure time, because if we manage to get those races done today, this will be the last day of the championship.
That is right. We will hopefully see some world champions crowned today. And what a long week of racing it has been. We've been here for the last 5 days, and it has been absolutely gorgeous. The competitors are ready. They are going to put everything on the line today. We have some people steaming out in the lead at the moment, but there's still plenty of points up for grabs.
Certainly plenty of points up for grabs, because it is still quite close up there.
And we are back. Sorry and apologies for any technical problems there. But yes, we are back with the first race of the Techno Plus fleet. And we are down to the final 30 seconds.
Certainly a good time to get straight back in to the action. You have not missed anything. And we still have 20 seconds to go until the first start. Up here we are having the Techno Pluses, the lime green sails. That is the 8.5 meter squared sails in the men's class at the minute. We have from Japan leading Daigo Komatsu from Japan, and in second place we have Navin Singat from Thailand, and in third overall at the minute Yuto Aoki from Japan. But not much separating all of these riders so far, and we are straight into that start. How's it looking there, Kieran?
That's right, they are off. We have some great pumping going. There's been some early leads from the pin end and from that starboard end, and it has been a common theme of the week to have a little bit of line sag. That is why we are seeing some early leads from both ends there, with a few competitors now tacking out to try and clear their air.
Looks like definitely down that bottom end we do have some leaders. That's the good thing about being at either end of the start. You know, you can gauge that line a little bit better. Kieran, how can you gauge that line a little bit better with either being right next to the committee boat or right next to the pin?
Well, if you're right next to those ends, you know the line finishes right there. So as close as you are to those ends, you know you are the time and distance away from that. But when you're in the middle, there is a long distance to really try and judge that line, to be honest. And especially when the land is so far in the distance, it can become really difficult to get that transit.
Very hard indeed, because remember, that start line is an imaginary line at the end of the day. It is only marked by the water that these riders are windsurfing over. That line is imaginary, so there is many things that all these riders have to think about. You know, of course, it is the mental side of it, you know, getting into those gusts, getting into those shifts, especially at this type of location here. However, as we can see at the minute from that rider in the middle, it is also about the physical, really working that equipment as hard as possible, gaining speed, gaining upwind angle. But here, I think these riders are pumping all for that speed to get up on that rail.
Certainly are, Rafferty, and that is a great example right there of grease coming across on port. Now today it is onshore wind, so it will not be that variable in the conditions. So it is less about getting your head out the boat and more about just getting that equipment going as fast as possible.
He's certainly got a clean lane here, though, really spaced out from the rest of the pack here. Could that be a good thing? Could that be a bad thing? We will all find out at the top mark. But as we said, this is quite possibly the last day of the championship, isn't it?
It certainly is, and yes, this is race 1 of 3 scheduled for the Techno Plus fleet. And look, that is Thailand20, currently in 2nd position. Now, we had an interview with him today. He is ready for the day.
He is certainly ready, and he is ready to push. He currently lies in 2nd place overall. 2nd place overall, so, you know, he does have potential to keep gaining, but he is 8 points away from that 1st place, but he is 12 points gained it on that 3rd place, so he's sitting quite comfortable at the minute.
Sitting quite comfortably, but with those 3 races planned, anything can change, so consistency will be key today, and especially in these conditions where if you have a bad start and it is not very shifty, it can be quite tricky to work your way through the fleet.
Can be very tricky indeed, especially in these moments where it is quite light winds out there. We're looking out there and it's windy, but one thing that's really important is that it's quite gusty, isn't it?
It can be quite gusty, especially when these clouds are coming over. There can be some puffs coming through the clouds, so they will be keeping their eyes out to try and search for those gusts. But at the end of the day, they will be having to work incredibly hard. But look at this! Look at these shots, everyone, and
we are back, yeah. Look at those shots, exactly. It wasn't the black. This is what. Oh, okay, a little bit in and out, but I mean, this location is absolutely great. James, you're back. Oh.
Apologies for the shots dropping out, ladies and gentlemen. As we know, this is live. There can be some technical problems, but we will do our best to get you some sweet action from the course. Like that, look at those angles. You can see there's been some big advantages for the sailors who went towards the left. Maybe they just got out in their own clean wind. Maybe they've just been working harder. Maybe this is their favourite conditions. Who knows? But at the moment, we are seeing some real racing going down.
Real racing indeed, as both of the Japan 155 currently on our screens. That is Yoshida Sakoto from Japan. He currently is lying in 6th place overall. Only 1 point separates him with 6th and 7th place, so he is in that pressure zone. 7 points to that 5th place as we move over to Italy 299. It is that 299. That is Edoardo Festanti from Italy, also cruising out on his first upwind.
Yeah, having an absolutely beautiful race there. Currently in the top 15, so if he can maintain onto this maybe top spot, we have some big range going on at the moment, though. There's a big split in the fleet. We had lots of people go all the way to the left and lots of people go all the way to the right, which is quite common when you have this onshore wind. Generally staying up in the middle, there's a little bit less wind, so the competitors try and split the size of the course, and almost it's a gambling game, but can go the best.
And there is that upwind mark. Looking at that perfectly, who has made the ley line. It is looking very close from these top 3 riders. I think the one furthest left of our screens, Kieran, do you think he's going to make it?
It's looking a bit tough at the moment, but he is leading his way, so there might be a chance for him to double tack and get around. And again, yesterday we did have some tide coming into play towards the end, so maybe there is a little bit of tide that they have to think about today.
It looked like that rider on the left was really trying to get there, but now I think he's just gone for that speed yet again. accepting that he is going to have to double tack, and it's looking like the second and third riders here now on our screens is also going to have to double tack, but maybe not. This rider on our screens, if he makes this ley line, it is looking extremely close, isn't it? Meters separating
That is right. You can see them pushing so hard there, and that is Singapore 29 on your screen at the moment, followed by Thailand 20 on the bottom, and you can just see they are leaning away, leaning off that rig, trying to get as much drive through that board, get that board flying. And there we have Thailand 20 tacking onto the port hand ley line, and wow, what a lead over those people who went to the left. So there has been a big advantage on that right hand side of the course.
Certainly was the right way to go, and here we coming, a little bit of coming together, but Narvin makes it through. Remember, Narvin Thailand here doesn't have right of way because he is on port. Here is going to be a really big moment within this race. Who is going to round that top mark in first place? But it is looking comfortable from Narvin all the way from Thailand, rounding at that top mark of his first race here on day number 5 of the 2025 Techno 293 World Championships.
That is right, and you see the rest of the fleet following through at the moment. Now, Thailand 20 does have a bit of a lead. If we see the leader in the Japanese, he will be thinking, maybe I can make some position gains, maybe I can overtake on that first position. But at the moment, they are coming along on that first reach, which they will be trying to dig in, getting that board planing. It is all about getting that board going, getting that speed on the equipment.
It is all about that speed now, moving that Mars track back and starting to plane.
That is right, and look at that, you can see them working hard. Maybe a bit of a roll from the French sailor there, followed by some more Japanese sailors. Now, there is a big contingency of Japanese in this Techno 29 Plus men's fleet. They have made the trip all the way over, but they are all loving it. We've been talking to them throughout the morning, and everyone is so happy to be here.
So happy to be here indeed. We were lucky enough to talk with one of the Japanese riders who was leading, and he brought his family all the way across. Man, a few words, but he was absolutely loving it. Loving the location, locked into the game, and just having a great holiday here in Wales with his family. It was really great to see.
Yeah, look at it. This is amazing. We have a bit of a hold up. Now, if you're coming around on that port trying to sneak around on the inside, you do not have the right of way, but it looks like Hungary has snuck through there. That was a great play.
Great plays all round at this upwind mark. It is game on. Absolute, well, to the naked eye, let's say it looks like a mess, but this is just everything extremely well calculated. Everyone is pushing to the max, like going for gaps that almost don't exist sometimes. Centimeters there, board lengths there. That can mean the difference between winning and losing.
That's right. They are judging that time and distance so well at the moment. And here we have towards the back end of the fleet making their way around mark number 1. Now, they will be going on to one reach, followed by the outer loop, which is coming on your screen now.
And there it is. So we've already had that upwind. Remember, they have to go diagonal, as that is the fastest point upwind. They are now on their reach. That mark, that little leg from mark number 1 all the way to 2, that is the fastest point, the reaching. They then make their way downwind towards that gate. They can decide which way they go, depending on wind conditions and tactics. Back up to mark 2, downwind, and through to the finish.
Certainly is, and now it looks like it's very marginal conditions for them, so they will have to be working as hard as they can to keep that board planing. Now, it does seem like if the leaders can keep that board planing all the way downwind, there will be a really big advantage by the end.
Huge advantages by the end, as we're seeing that group just out the back catching a nice gust, but also working really hard that sail to get up onto the plane.
And what gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous views we have right now. Thanks again to the drone pilots for getting this up in the air. This is amazing quality coming at you live from the Techno 293 World Championships.
Almost looks absolutely seamless, but do know that a lot goes into this footage out here. It's a huge amount of work, but work that we are extremely grateful for, as we are managing to see all this insane action out here for the 5th day of the Techno 293 World Championships. Currently on our screens, we have the Techno 293 Plus fleet, which is the open. It's the under 19s and also the open ages. So people from all around the world of all ages are racing it out here.
Yeah, and back to the racecourse. It looks like we have some people planing from above at the moment, and the two below are scooping. Now, the people planing from above, they will be tracking them down so much quick, and it just seems like they have dropped out that gust there. So that is an indication it is quite gusty out there still. So they will be needing to keep their head outside of the board and searching and hunting for those gusts.
Really searching throughout this race, trying to find that gust, trying to find that speed and overall shorter distance throughout the course. This is almost like a Formula 1 track out on the water, but with added elements. We have the wind, which is our engines. Engines of the wind then goes into the sail, directed through the body and into the board. So it's not only tactics, it's also all the physical efforts that these athletes have to go into.
It certainly is, and just look at these views. They are on their first downwind leg, and it looks like the leaders are heading down towards the first-hand gate, where a very important decision is to be made. Do we go left or do we go right? Now, they will be thinking back to that first upwind. It did seem like there was a big advantage going right, but these are changeable conditions. They will have to be switched on to just keep deciding which way is the best way to go.
Which way is the best way to go, but our leader here is showing us exactly which way to go, as he certainly has a good amount of lead towards the rest of the pack here. There is that gate that we saw on the course, the downwind gate. From here they can decide which way they go. Remember, making their way upwind, they will be going diagonally, as that is the fastest way to go towards the wind. Look at this though, another amazing day here in North Wales, Pwllheli in the UK. Few clouds in the sky, nice and giving us some shade from the sun, but there's still blue skies all around.
Exactly, and those clouds will be adding to the gusty conditions at the moment. The wind is going to be wanting to go around them, so maybe there's some wind on the left, maybe there's some wind on the right, and it looks like the first competitor has decided to go around that left-hand gate. We're trying to get eyes on that at the moment. Is that Thailand 20 currently in second place? I think it is Navin from Thailand. What a man. He is going around, and he is in a very commanding position. It looks like he is wanting to go around to the left, just get out of the way of everyone else coming downwind. They will be blocking the wind. They just wants to separate, get his air clear, and just get locked into that fast mode as quick as he can.
Very interesting note there that was the second place actually decided to split from the pack. I think it is on our screens here. Japanese 1016 deciding to split from the pack there.
That is right, and then the third competitor is round the other gate again, so a little bit of split thinking from the fleet, but who knows. It was right-hand side was dominant on the first lap, but they are in a different part of the race course, so it could be different over here.
Could be different indeed. I mean, if we speculate, I saw a previous screen there. Maybe on that right side there was a gust coming down, but rounding that mark, a little bit of a sketchy mark rounding though, but getting as close to that mark as physically possible, meaning that he can get clean in and overall reduce his distance on that course. But he's straight back up onto the rail, isn't he?
That is right. That is one of the key skills. They're going from downwind mode with the daggerboard up, reducing that drag, to getting that daggerboard down as quick as they can, getting back into that upwind mode, maybe getting some feet in the foot straps where they have a lot more control, and then they can just lift that rail up and get back into that upwind mode and start getting their head out and seeing where those gusts are.
Jonathan Chan now rounding his mark as well. He's decided to go out onto the right side of the course. Will that be the right way? I guess we'll find out. But again, doing very well, getting that master upright. And there we go, back to the course. They are now on their second upwind.
Yeah, right, they are. And then we can see, I mean, it's so variable at the moment. We have some people planing, we have some people scooping, but they're just being athletic all over the place.
It is an awesome place. Just looking outside of our booth at the minute, there's loads of people on the beach, doing a bit of fishing and looking around the rocks, but also spectating the World Championships that is out here. The pinnacle event for a lot of these riders, for the vast majority of these riders. This is the pinnacle event that they've been working so hard to lead up to, and a pinnacle event in the whole sport of windsurf, really.
And that is right, and all that hard work throughout the year will pay its dividends at the end of the week. But at the end of the day, they are having such a good time, but they will be thinking about those medals, and they will be trying to snag some silverware.
Silverware is something that, Kieran, you are very familiar with, aren't you? Can you please let us know your achievements within the Techno293 class? Go on.
That is right. I was quite fortunate. I had a great techno career. Managed to win the World Championships, Under 15 World Championships in 2009, I believe, in Weymouth, of all places, on home soil. And then once again in the Under 17 class a few years later in San Francisco in the USA. What memories, honestly.
Memories that I'm sure is going to stay with you your whole life. I was also racing nothing to the level that Kieran was doing. I was probably around the 10th, 20th spots in the techno class, but still, still absolutely loving it, which all these riders out here will be absolutely loving windsurfing. That's one of the amazing things out here in this class, is that, the core reason why everyone is here, they just love windsurfing, and why we're here as well. No?
Exactly, that's exactly why we're here. We are frothing off of this. In whatever wind, rain or shine, light winds, heavy wind, you can still windsurf, especially on this class, the Techno293. It is very all-round. It is sailable from anything from 4 knots all the way to 40 knots.
So, Narvin on our screens at the minute, Thailand 20. Kieran, as a past multiple world champion, Narvin is actually in second place overall. What will he be thinking right now? He's getting close to the end of the competition.
That is right. I mean, of course, second place is amazing at the moment, but it is not too far from first place. I believe 6 points currently. So, if he can snag a few firsts in here and maybe his leader makes a mistake or two, he will be thinking, I can come away with that gold medal. But at the moment, he is just going to be wanting to stay in a commanding position. But it does look like the athletes who went to the right-hand side, they are coming back in a lot of wind. That you can tell by just how they're leaning off the equipment and how much their board is flying.
They are really flying. Narvin really extending his body out from that equipment, really maximizing the amount of power in that sail. But if we keep our eyes peeled on the left of our screens in a minute, it is Japan coming through. Remember, he did round that mark, spitting the pack, going off onto the right hand side. It's looking like possibly he could be nabbing that first place.
It really does. It seems like the story of the first lap has played out again. That right-hand side has come out dominant. Maybe there's a bit of wind over there. Maybe there's a little bit of a shift. Either way, he has worked really hard to get in that position, and it looks like his lead is quite extensive by this point.
A very extensive lead. Very much crossed Narvin, who was at the lead at that bottom gate, but now it is Takehito Katayama from Japan now leading this first race. And what a race he is having here. He is railing the whole way. It's very marginal conditions out here, but he is showing us exactly how to maintain that railing mode, maintain that speed, and there is that upwind mark.
That is right, and here are some of the rest of the competitors coming round at the moment towards the upwind mark, and you can just see how varied and how much distance there is between the left and right.
It's looking pretty good though, very good indeed. And there we have the upwind mark. There's that upwind mark that we are seeing Takehito rounding up now in that first place position. But it's looking amazing out there. A real race course on the water.
Yeah, it really is. And it seems like there's some of the 7-8 fleet coming round now. So there's a lot of other competitors to work and weave your way through. And of course, the Techno Plus, they are on a bigger sail, so they probably have a better chance to stay planing.
better chance indeed, but they still have to work it all the way to the very end of this race. And as we said, it's still quite light out there. I mean, probably around the, let's say 10 knots.
Around
probably.
the 10 knots. Yeah, it seems to be around the 10 knots. The Techno Plus are just getting themselves onto the plane, especially if they're working quite hard. And I mean, what great views at the moment.
It's looking really, really nice views out there on the water with the mountains in the background.
It is, yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous with the beautiful views there. And give a lot of love to the people in the live stream chat at the moment. Please drop where you're from, who you are wishing to win, and just any questions you have, just send them in and we will do our best to answer them.
But it's great to see some support for Soren from France. Hopefully we will be seeing him soon. Also Narvin from Thailand. Thailand 20. We've seen a lot of Narvin so far, and he has been doing absolutely amazing. Really at the top of this race currently going on at the minute. He was leading earlier on, just lost out into that. He's currently in second place within this race at the minute. Will he have a really good downwind and nab back that first place? We will find out. But anyway, to be in that top place position is a huge achievement in itself.
It certainly is, and yes, he is currently in second place when we saw him go around that top mark, but he was ahead of the current leader, so he will be making some points back on him. That will make for exciting final two races in this fleet.
It's going to be really exciting all throughout today, so make sure you share the links, make sure you share this live show to all your friends on all your social media, to all the fans out here, to make sure that everyone can witness this awesome action here at the World Championships. It's great to see, it's great to have this show on, witnessing this racing, so make sure, again, you share it to everyone and get everyone involved in watching.
Yeah, look at these views. We can just see how the competitors are making their way downwind. I think we just panned out from the leader of this race, Japan 1016, working their way down through the 7-8 fleet. Like we said, there is now a few more obstacles to work their way around, but he is on the final stretch of the downwind. He will make a right-hand turn towards the finish, where he will pick up his first of the day.
Will he be able to snatch it? I think he will. He's really extended his lead on here at the minute. On our screens, it is the lime green sail, bottom right of our screens. That is our current race leader. And in second place is further back, actually.
Yeah, I think so. Or hard to tell right now, but what I could say, there is the 7-8 boys fleet who have come round on their outer loop as well.
So yes, this is the great thing about this trapezoid course, is that we can have two fleets racing at the same time, which is exactly what is going on here. The 7-8s are racing, and I think it is actually our first place within the Techno Plus, rounding that mark now. Could it be possibly? We'll figure it out soon. It is indeed.
That is indeed, yes. We can see them bearing away towards that finish, building up that speed, maybe a few final pumps just to cement that first place, and that is Japan 1016. That is Takedo Katayama, who has just snagged his first win of the day.
First win of the day. He did come into day number 5 in 5th place, so having a bullet to his scorecard will be pushing him up for sure. And in second place from Thailand, it is Narvin, Thailand 20. Narvin Singart in that second place position. A great race from those top two, and our third place coming through now too.
That is right, and we have our third place coming through right now. Italy 347. Maybe a little bit further down the fleet, perhaps. We are searching for them right now. Unable to see, but followed by some more Japanese sailors coming through the finish line. A really outstanding first race. Now again, back to Navin. He is currently second overall, and he just snagged a second place. And there is no sign of the current leader who is crossing the finish line just yet. So maybe there'll be some points changes. We'll have to see how the discards work out by the end of the day.
We can see a big difference in speeds though from before they round that mark and after they round that mark. Kieran, can you tell us a little bit why we have these differences in speeds?
Yeah, that is right. As you can see, the people on the downwind, they are pointing quite low, and if you go directly down with the wind, it is really hard to gain that speed. Not as fast as we see this sailor coming across towards the finish right now. They are going across the wind. This is called a reach, and you just seem to get a little bit more wind, and also they're getting some clean air out from the rest of the competitors, and they are able to hook in, maybe get in the foot straps, and start pumping that board onto the fin and just pick up speed and start planing.
Yes, I mean, even on that downwind though, if we cast our eyes in the middle of that group, we do have some going extremely fast. They've managed to catch that gust, and as you said, bring up that angle and go a lot faster, as we're seeing the next Techno Plus rider planing through that start line. But the 7.8s at the minute, they aren't quite planing at the minute. They're not railing at the minute. They're in that displacement mode, just gliding over the water. But as soon as they can get planing, that will mean speed, that will mean angle, and that will mean faster, finishing the course faster.
Certainly, and of course the 7.8s are on a smaller sail and I believe a smaller fin, so that is less power in the engine and less power on the board, so it will be a bit harder for them to get going on that rail. So maybe slightly different even racing tactics and strategy between the two fleets right now.
Very different indeed. As you said, for this Techno equipment, we do have different sizes of equipment for each of the age groups. So as we see here, the lime green sails, though that is of the Techno Plus, the open class, and under 19s, that is an 8.5 meter squared sail. The boards stay consistent throughout the class, whether you're 13 years of age or all the way up to middle age, let's say. And also, but also it's the fins that change. The fins are slightly bigger on the 8.5 for the Techno Plus, and for the under 17s on the 7.8 and 6.8s, they have slightly smaller fin, which means a little bit less power, so it's more handleable for these younger riders.
Yeah, certainly. And we have the rest of the fleet coming through on the finish line. Now, unless we haven't seen him, we still no sign of the current leader. That could be a really big play of the day if that is so. And there's our first 7.8 leader potentially coming through the finish line as well.
All starting to come towards that finish though, finishing their first race here on day number 5 of the 2025 Techno293 World Championships. And remember, the Techno Plus fleet and also the 7.8s only have 3 more races to complete the championship, and this is one of the 3, so only 2 remain.
Only 2 remaining. We'll be back with you shortly for another race, so stay tuned. And we are back live at the Techno293 World Championships, where we are bringing you the final race of the 6.8 under 15 boys fleet.
It is game on. The class flags are up. We can see the orange flag, meaning that we are in the warning time. The green flag is up, meaning that we are in sequence for the under 15 boys. We are also seeing that yellow flag with the black dot in it. That signifies what, Kieran?
That flag is the I flag. That indicates if you are over in the final minute, you will need to go around either the boat end or the pin end to clear your penalties. Now, of course, that is not
D, but now is a great time to go back to the chat. Make sure you show all your friends and all the fans for all these riders. Share this link around to get everyone watching the live show here for day number 5 of the 2025 Techno293 World Championships. We have some support to some British boys. Shout out to GBR3477 Noah and 3498 Alex, both on under 17 fleet. Go boys. We will be seeing them. Let's see how they do. Also Thailand 20, go. Navin did great in the previous race. Loving the commentary, Rafa. Cheers, Charlie. Yeah, great to hear from you. I'm also loving here with Kieran.
We are getting a lot of love all around and from all over the world. That is just incredible to see, really. Now, back to the racing. We have 2 standout performances so far from Joshua Kurek from Spain and Fios Kulwaz from Greece. Now, these boys they are head and shoulders above the rest at the moment. We did not know how they did in their first race, so it could be very tight between them. It could be whoever wins in this race will win that World Championships. We will try and give you all the action right now.
We are in to the last few minutes until we get this race underway. As you said, Joshua from Spain is currently leading this competition, but only by 2 points. And Joshua actually is last year's under 13 world champion. So could he be picking up yet another world championship title? He's going to be having to put in a good innings, isn't he?
That would be incredible work to come and win the under 13 world championships in the previous year, to then come here to North Wales and win the under 15 world championships. That would be incredible work. So keep your eyes peeled for Spain 933 on your screens.
933. Where will he be? But also, let's keep our eyes on Greece 42. Fivos Koulalis from Greece in second place overall. He came in today only leading by 2 points. So again, it's going to be game on for those top 2 places. Quite a big distance actually to that third place. That is 23 points separating right, second and third.
Even though there's a big difference to those places, there is still a very tight battle for that third place. We currently have Italy 6 in third, followed by France 89 and followed by Greece 99. There is only 5 points separating them at the start of the day. We of course do not know what happened in the first race, but maybe with those discards, it will still be incredibly close.
It could be close indeed, and I'm sure this racing is going to be close as we go into the last 20 seconds until we get this racing going. But what a backdrop we have here in Pwllheli, North Wales. Some amazing mountains in the background, some rocky beaches and some amazing housing. And what is also amazing, everything is amazing, but let's change it, what is epic is the racing here. And there we go, away with the start.
We are off. The time started and it's a beautiful start from the fleet all round. There does seem to be a little bit of an advantage from that pin end. And is there some people tacking out?
Tacking out straight away. We do have some maybe wanting to go onto the right side of the course, or maybe they haven't quite had the start they were hoping for, meaning that they are straight away in that dirty air. But a lot of riders out on that committee end now deciding to tack off, but still pumping, putting in the pressure, putting in the work to make sure that they get their speed on, get their angle on, and get to that upwind mark in first place.
That is right, and there does seem to be something over there. A lot of the fleet has decided to tack off onto port and head towards that right hand side. So maybe that was a play in the first race. Maybe that's something they've seen between the races that they've chatted about with their coach. But that was a very, very emphatic decision by the rest of the fleet to head over there.
Interesting, and GBR288 also deciding to tack off and go to the other side. That is Benedict Sigley, and closely followed by GBR931. That is Luke Stevens, both from the UK. Have they got the home advantage? For sure, a little bit, but let's see if they can put it in within this race too.
That is right. A lot of love for the GBR sailors right now. It is great to see them on our screens, and everyone will be loving to see that back home. And looks like, yes, it's a bit of a split fleet. There is Spain 902, who came in today in 9th position. So what a week he's having so far. And it looks like he's got a bit of a lead over there.
He's certainly the only one who's deciding to go he's going furthest out onto the left side of course. Absolute razzing boat in the background. Good grief. Hopefully that doesn't impact anything, but that's all good. Game on.
That is right. That might be a little bit of a speed boost when they get over there. They can tack back onto that wake and get on that wave going upwind. And that is just some of the tips and tricks that we'll be looking for on this race course. Any little advantage to get them going. And it does seem like everyone is heading towards that right-hand side, so there is something over there.
There is something over there. Could it be wind? Could it be a monster? I'm hoping it's going to be wind.
That is right. What is that coming over the hill? We will have to find out here.
Yeah. But it's looking like the wind. Everyone leaning out on their sails and directing all that power from the wind into the sail, directing it into their bodies, through to the board, and translating it into speed and adrenaline through the water of windsurfing.
Yeah, that is right. And everyone drop in the comments, who do you want to win? Who do you think's going to win this under 15 boys world championships? And there is Italy 35 making a tack back onto the port. He wants to cover the rest of the fleet. Everyone is going that way. Still, not much sign of our few leaders at the moment.
Not too much sign indeed. I mean, remember we did have Joshua, our currently our overall leader within this event, and also Fivos in second place. Haven't quite seen them quite yet, but it is that displacement conditions at the minute, isn't it, Kieran?
That is right, is that displacement conditions, but they will be trying to get in those foot straps and pumping hard to lift the board onto the rail. Like we said before, when you do that, you get such a speed burst, and it is much easier to do that when you have your own clean air. For example, the people out towards the left-hand side of the screen, they will have probably maybe 1 knot more than the rest in the middle, just getting out and over on that clean air, getting towards that right-hand side of the race course.
And clean air, 1 knot, clean air, that's it. But it's also the consistency. That's one thing that all these riders are trying to go for. Trying to go for the win, but trying to go for the consistency.
That is right. And there is our current leader coming into the day, Joshua, Spain 933. So in a very good position at the moment, covering the rest of the fleet. I even think covering Greece 42. So maybe there's some racing within the racing going on at the moment. They both know they are tight together. This race really is between them at the moment.
It really is. They have got this event wrapped up, but where will they finish? We will have to find out. Remember, this is their last race of the day and the last race of the whole event. The whole event of the 2025 Techno293 World Championship. So it is an absolute pinnacle moment for our rider on the screen at Joshua, Spain 933. Will he be able to seal the deal? We will find out.
That's right, and as you can see, he's putting in the work right now. Maybe not leading the fleet, but as we have said, they have such a point advantage on the rest of the fleet. It does not really matter where they come between the rest of the fleet. They are racing each other, so there will be one eye out on each other at the moment. But looking on that starboard ley line, it seems like he is, in fact, in the top few there. So very consistent all week.
And there is that. Is that the top mark? If that is the top mark, they are. It looks as if they've overlaid it by quite a bit.
That is right. It seems like they're just playing safe on that side. Maybe there's that bit of tide that's been playing in, or maybe they have just seen a bit more wind over there, or just being extra cautious. Double tacking these conditions and getting caught up in the rest of the fleet is really not ideal.
Is really not ideal. Not only because you get that dirty wind, but also then you are kind of then you're prohibited by where you want to go because you have a lot of people around you, so you need to think about the positioning to them. Where does one rider go? Where does your opponent go? You need to make sure that you stay ahead of them, and someone that is staying ahead is our current race leader on our screens at the minute, absolutely cranking out to his upwind. That is Spain 910, and that is Bill Martorell Blasco.
Yeah, doing an absolutely incredible performance at the moment. Just see, getting in those foot straps, this is a great example of how hard they are working. And you see, when they put in those efforts, they just start going so much faster. But of course, you cannot pump this whole race. You have to be so tactical of when you want to inject that power into the sail.
One thing is about injecting that power in the sail and getting faster. Not only do you go a lot faster, I remember when I started getting up onto the plane, up railing on Techno, it was so fun, wasn't it?
Oh.
You're just feeling the water, feeling nature powering you along.
That is so true, especially when you look behind and you see the whole fleet there. It is unreal what they must be feeling right now. That is followed by second place Italy, followed by our current event leader after today, Spain. Taking the inside line there, they will be going onto their reach on the outer loop. So they have one reach, followed by a downwind, followed by an upwind, then another downwind, and then they are finished their whole competition.
As we have almost gone to a maximum of 16 races. So it's going to be extremely exciting to see.
Yeah, and as we see on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, there's lots of people coming around at the moment, and you can just see in the middle of the fleet there is Greece 42, which is our current second place. So maybe a bit of a challenging race so far. Let's see what they can do and hopefully try and catch back up. He is currently second overall. Will he be able to catch it? I'm sure he will. They are very much, first and second are very much ahead. And there he is, putting in some huge pumps just to extend his lead, kind of defend from Poland 403. There, he's making it round that upwind mark, getting literally as close as he possibly can to that mark. That is right. He's going to be wanting to put in all that effort just to keep going.
They usually go the fastest possible, and there it is, the top reach. It's not actually that windy at the minute, so they're not going super fast, but compared to the wind, they are making the absolute most out of this. They're going as fast as they physically can. At the end of the day, this is the best athletes in the world. This is the World Championships.
They certainly are, and that top reach is probably arguably the hardest part of the race. You have to stay out of that harness. There is not a single bit of rest you can have. And that is our leader there, Spain 901. So having an amazing final race. Maybe that will put him up towards that top 5 performance, which is just incredible.
Incredible it is. He did come into today at Spain 910 in 9th place overall. So a very, very good race from him. And also a top 10. Coming into today in top 10, a huge achievement.
That is right, and there we have it. They are on their first downwind of this final race, followed by some of the other leaders coming around the top mark right now, and they are in that downwind scooping mode at the moment. They are going to be wanting to grab as much wind as they can and propel themselves forward onto the waves, and they'll just be thinking about each wave in front of them, try and connect as many of them as possible, stay on the back of it, stay surfing down, stay pumping, stay windsurfing, stay having fun, everyone.
That is it. Stay having fun. That is the goal at the end of the day for each and every one of these riders, and I mean, it's pretty hard not to have fun out here, isn't it?
No, that is right, Rafferty. I mean, I hope they're having as much fun as we are in the commentary booth. It is an incredible week so far. It has been a joy bringing you this footage live from Pwllheli, North Wales.
It is absolutely awesome as we're seeing these 6.8 riders, the under 15 riders, making their way downwind. They are pumping all the way. The thing here, everyone is pumping to the absolute max, pumping until they cannot stop. Cannot keep going on. Let's restart that so it has the same impact. They pumping until they cannot stop. No, not stop. They keep pumping until they cannot pump anymore, and then they pump some more.
Keep pumping some more.
There we go.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. And that is our current leader of the race, rounding that bottom mark. As you see, seems like quite a short second downwind, so there is not much opportunity to get up and down between these competitors. But they have opted for that right-hand gate. So just like the first upwind, that maybe there is something on that right-hand side that they are seeing. Maybe there's a bit more wind. Maybe there's a bit of wind bend around this headland over there. And they are keeping going. And that is our current event leader, 933. Quite commanding and quite far ahead from our Greek 42 seconds. So it seems like if all goes well, and if all went well in the previous race, he will definitely be coming away with the top two, but potentially he will be getting that gold.
Yeah, we will have to see a great performance yet again from him. But top two riders doing very well, both from Spain. 910 Pwllheli, currently race leader, and in second place it is Joshua. But a great performance in that third place at the minute, just on the top of our screens there, closely behind Joshua, who is bottom of our screens at the minute. Just behind him is Italy 35, Giovanni Moncada, who's having a great race so far. He did come in today in 12th position overall. So, a huge performance to finish off the event for him.
Yeah, that is right. And they're heading off towards that right-hand side. It's getting some pumping there from Italy 35. And we are just going through the fleet here. Italy 63 having a great race, followed by Spain 902. And you can see some of them hanging off their uphill there. They are just getting their body off the board, getting that sail upright, maximizing that surface area where the wind can catch. And that is our current second overall leader coming in today, Greece 42. So in the top 10, but still some distance away from Joshua, Spain 933.
He did come in to today, only 2 points separating Joshua and Fivos there, but Fivos not quite having the race he probably would have hoped for. He did in last year's competition, in last year's World Championships in the under-15s. Fivos did finish 5th overall, so a huge effort for him again here at the 2025 World Championships, gaining quite a lot of places for sure. At the end of this event, he will be finishing in that top two. Will he get the gold? Will he get the silver? I guess we'll have to find out.
That is right. I mean, it is really tough racing out there today. I mean, a lot of this is won or lost on the start today. The wind is very consistent over the course. Maybe there's a bit of difference between the left and right, but if you want to win, you really need to win that start. And maybe that's what happened between these two competitors. Maybe our leader, Spain 933, had a great start, and maybe Greece 42 struggled there a bit, but they will not be giving up until the end.
Certainly not. Never give up. And that is kind of a great motto of life. Never give up. And this is one of the amazing things about windsurfing and about the Techno293 class, is that it teaches so much, not only about windsurfing, how to have fun, but also so much discipline. These young athletes out on the water, young riders are out on the water on their own, at the mercy of the elements, and that really teaches us something, doesn't it?
It certainly does. I mean, when you're out there miles off the shore, just at the will of the elements, there can be a lot of danger, but there's a lot of sport crew around there keeping an eye on them. But yes, like you said, it teaches you how to be motivated. It teaches you how to set goals and improve every single day. And like you say, Greece 42 has improved from last year, where he was just in that 5th position, up to top 2, and that would be amazing to see for him, for his family, for his friends.
Huge development from him, and huge development for each and every other one of these athletes. And there we have it, Greece 122 rounding that mark too.
That is right. I think this might be the girls' fleet coming through, so we will also get some commentating on that. And that is Spain 3, Olivia Morales. She has had a dominant performance all week, winning God, who knows how many races? I can't even count that high.
Yeah, I'm just seeing yellow all over the scoreboard, doing extremely well. Not leading by an absolutely huge. Oh no, I was looking at total on the net. She is leading by 26 points, a huge lead from Olivia there in second place at the minute, but crossing that mark in the first place for the under 15 girls in this last race was actually Liana Panagi. Greece 122 is currently second place overall.
That is right. Like I said, Olivia could probably just relax this race, but she is not giving up. She wants to make her mark known. I even believe she won the World Championships last year, so 2 World Championships in a row. That is an incredible performance.
Absolutely incredible performance, and another incredible performance from her here.
Yeah, and there we just pan out on the screen. We're just getting an overview of where everyone is going. I believe the white sails might be the girls' fleets coming down there, just pumping away, trying to capture the waves, trying to surf them as much as possible as we head towards that bottom mark.
And here we have Spain 910. That is Joshua Castro Jurek. No. 910 is no. That is Beal, actually. That's Beal, our current race leader so far. Doing extremely well. We've been talking about him coming in to today in 8th place overall. And now he is in the lead. He's got quite a nice lead on here. Maybe kind of 10, 20 seconds.
It looks like he's in the home straight now. There will be one final right-hand turn towards the finish line. And he's finishing off his 2025 World Championships with a race win. That will feel amazing.
It will feel absolutely amazing. And there he is, Spain 910. Beal now pumping. He just got on the plane a little bit there, and he is just trying to defend his lead all the way to the finish. He's pumping.
That's right. Keep it going across the finish line, and that is a first place. Look at that. Arms in the air, absolutely enjoying himself. That he might have pushed himself into the top 5, but what a week he has had so far.
Absolutely amazing. That is Beal from Spain crossing the line, crossing the final race here for the under 15 boys in first place. He is happy, and he should be happy. An amazing performance all the way to the very end.
And what a lead. And that is our current under 15 girls leader going round the bottom mark, going for a final upwind before a downwind. But I mean, what a lead Spain 910 had then. He's almost a leg ahead. And as we see some of the next competitors coming towards that finish line right now, we will get some eyes on who they are.
We will very soon, and there is our second place. That is Spain 933. Joshua Castro Jurek coming towards the line.
A little hiccup right there.
Little hiccup, but he is all good, crossing the finish line in first place. A amazing performance from him yet again. Will that have meant he becomes a world champion for 2025? Check the results to find out.
I think it might be. He is celebrating like he has won the world championship. There is the Spanish coach with the flag going absolutely mental. He is enjoying himself. What a feeling. He has just crossed the finish line and definitely in the top 2 and probably likely a win, I would say, but we will of course have to check the results at the end.
Most likely, but there is Beal going to join his teammate from Spain, Josh, coming through. An amazing performance from both of them, and Spain 902 also coming across the line. That is Joanne from Spain.
And is that Italy as well? I see in the water. Maybe another top 3 coming through, followed by there is Greece 42. Definitely in the medal halls. We'll have to find out, but I think our top 3 sailors have crossed the finish line, and they will be so happy.
A huge shout out to Fivos Koulalis from Greece. Greece 42, an amazing performance throughout this week. Over 25 points. He was in second place by coming in to this final day, and now he has finished this competition for sure inside of that top 2.
What an amazing feeling, ladies and gentlemen. They have worked so hard over the last 5 days, 16 races to put themselves in that position. and they've managed to hold on for this final day. And honestly, look at them celebrating, arms in the air, getting those photos. These memories will be with them for the rest of their life.
A huge bucket list tick moment. Joshua is not only the 2024 under-13s world champion, he could even be the under-15s world champion here in Wales. An amazing performance from him. Let's get some W's in the chat.
Let's get some W's in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. We want to see the chat going off right now. Tell us where you're from. Tell us who you have been cheering for and just how much you've been enjoying the stream so far.
We have been extremely enjoying the stream. A huge shout out to Greencast Media for putting on an awesome show, getting the shots, getting these moments for each and every one of us to watch out this amazing show.
That is right, and it does seem like maybe Spain 933 has won this, and we will be bringing you back to the girls' fleet any moment now to get them crossing the finish line.
And we are in the game. Here is the girls' race finishing off. This will be the last race of the competition for the under-15 girls.
That is right, and we are on the final upwind right now with our current leader, Olivia Morale. She is putting in a great performance all week. There she is, just hanging off that boom, getting as much leverage as she can, with a bit of lead from the rest of the sailors. Like I said, she is more than likely in the home straight right now, but pulling in a great final race.
Could she be adding yet another world title to her name? She was the 2024 Under-15 Girls World Champion. And I think it's looking like she could be doing it again. So all eyes on Olivia.
That's right, and she is pumping right there. She's starting to overtake some of the boys as well. She really, really wants it here. Coming up to a final upwind mark rounding from a very strong and hard week all around. I mean, this has been a week. We've had it all. We've had windy conditions. We've had offshore conditions. We've had light conditions. We've had shifty conditions. It really has been the best competitor athlete out there is coming out on top.
As Olivia rounding that mark now, that is her penultimate mark of the whole event, still threading the absolute lead or leaving no distance to spare. She got that ley line absolutely perfect, showing us why she has the potential yet again to be the 2025 world champion. She is pumping all the way to the very end like there is no tomorrow, because there is no tomorrow of racing. This is the final race of the competition, so she is pumping until she cannot stop, until she cannot keep going, and then she pumps some more.
That is right. That is the catchphrase of the week, ladies.
I need to get it right, though.
No, I think everyone's clocking on at home, but there we are on their final downwind. I mean, that's followed by Italy 31 having a great last race herself, coming into the final day in 8th position, so maybe some outside chances of some medalware, followed by Italy 42. There are some teammates battling it out right there.
That is Vittoria.
That's it. Only 2 places off of each other, so they're going to want to make their mark known on this final race.
Certainly so. I mean, this competition is an extremely important one, as it is the pinnacle one of the year. This could be the difference between sometimes making some squads, some national squads, some regional squads, and also maybe getting some support from federations. So, you know, it's not only for the overall result that they are getting for. This could be a qualification event, and also next year we have the Youth Olympics, which is they will be on the Techno Plus equipment. And let's go back and have a look at some celebrations.
Let's just get a quick shot of these celebrations. These guys have been racing against each other all week, but they are absolutely loving life. It's what sportsmanship right there. They are just having so much fun getting in that water, getting some camera actions. But let us take us back to the race at hand. It is not over just yet for these under-15 girls.
Under-15 girls, this is their final race of the competition. Who will be able to win? Greece 1-2-2 is currently leading this last race. Liana Panagi from Greece is leading, but in hot pursuit all the way to the very end is Olivia Sanchez Moral from Spain.
That is right. That is our current second and first under 15 girls respectively coming round. So, I mean, they've made their mark known and they've shown it in this final race, staying in that 1 and 2 spot. Final few pumps on this final reach, and then the celebrations can begin for them. But what a week, everyone! What a week! We have loved bringing this stream to you, and they, I'm sure, have loved the racing this week.
I'm sure they certainly have. And there we have it, coming towards the line. It is Greece, but also on our screens at the minute is Olivia Sanchez Moral, having an absolutely amazing week, heading towards her coach. I think nothing confirmed, but I think she has picked up the 2025 World Championship title. But do check the results and the website to confirm that.
That is right. I think we can say there's a double world champion 2 years in a row. Wow, she is really making her mark known in this techno fleet. Is this future Olympians in the making? It certainly could be.
It certainly will be indeed. This is the class that start up windsurfers that will be winning medals in the Olympics, but someone who is already winning medals on our screens at the minute, holding that Spanish flag. It is Olivia Sanchez Moral, having an absolutely amazing week and finishing off with a great second place within this race. She has what it takes. She showed us what it takes, and she has picked up that World Championship title.
That is right. The arms are in the air. She is ecstatic right now. Absolutely loving life. No greater feeling than getting on that boat, putting that flag around you, and just celebrating.
Absolutely amazing stuff. And Kieran, you have been a world champion as well. Tell us about the thoughts that will be going through these young riders' heads.
Honestly, they probably can't even believe it right now. It is so hard to get out that mindset of just racing, getting that race done. But I think when they get over the finish line, they see their coach celebrating, throwing their hands up in the air, it will start to sink in. And I think just relief. It is a marathon, this sport, everyone at home. It is not one race. There's 16 races over 5 days. You have to stay switched on for such a long time.
And it is absolutely amazing to see, just to be in this competition. Back when I was racing on Techno, these were the best days of my life at that point in time. It was so cool. You come to these events from everyone from around the world. You have friends from around the world all meeting at the same place at the same time, windsurfing out on the water, pushing the limits, pushing yourself. And that feeling of unitedness is literally second to none.
It really is. It really is. I mean, you are on that race course, you are competing. There are no friends out there, but as soon as they cross that finish line, like we saw, they are jumping, they are happy, they're celebrating together. These will be friends for life, that is for sure.
Absolutely friends for life. And someone who I also saw on the screen there, Latvia 3, Marta Leva-Dale, having a great competition so far. She did come into today in third place position. A very strong lead in there, so if everything went okay, she will be picking up that bronze medal. Another great performance from all these athletes, these young athletes from all around the world.
That is right, and we have the rest of the fleet coming through right now. Not to put the spotlight on the winners. Everyone has been doing so well here, and they will be so happy to get over that finish line, and I'm sure they've just enjoyed the week for sure.
It's been an amazing week here in North Wales, Pwllheli in the UK. The sun has been shining, the wind has been blowing, and we have had some amazing adrenaline jam-packed windsurf action.
Yeah, that is right. So stay with us. We will be bringing you the under 17 fleet and the Techno Plus fleet, where we will see some more world champions be crowned. So stay tuned and stay with us. And we are back straight into the action again. We are actually in the final minute for the Techno Plus fleet. And
it is game on. It is certainly game on. GBR 767 pushing into the front line of that start at the minute, having a very good one. Could he be pushing it all the way? Guess we'll find out.
That is right. And this is what we love to see. A couple of athletes on the port end going for those port flyers. This is just awesome. Awesome racing right here. Into our final 5 seconds, they will start to be ramp up. And they are pumping. They are off for their final race of the World Championships.
They are off indeed. Everyone is pumping to the max. We have one port flyer down that on the far right, top right of our screens at the minute. He will be pumping all the way. He will be trying to cross every single rider, and so far he has crossed 1, he has crossed 2, he has crossed 3. Will he be able to cross all 34 entries within this Techno Plus fleet? Oh, it's looking very, very close.
Yeah, that is it. Go, go, go. And it looks like he is going to do it with a lot of the Japanese sailors on that starboard end coming on, but I think he has done it. What a way to start your final race of the 2025 World Championships.
Japanese 122-1200 is not letting off the gas though, but it is Italy who makes it all the way through. Italy 279, I'm pretty sure that makes out. That is Mattia Mertas really threading the needle, leaving nothing on the line, and he makes it all the way through, and he has won that start.
That is right, he is putting his mark on this final race. Now, conditions-wise, it does look like it has picked up a little bit, so I think we will see some planing downwind. You can see them in the foot straps, railing very comfortably at the moment. I mean, the story of the day, it does seem like the right-hand side has been key, so we've had a port flyer, and he's heading towards the right-hand side of the course. It couldn't be going any better for our Italian sailor right there.
He is doing amazingly. Under 19, he was born in 2007, so another very young rider within this, but he has the confidence, and the confidence did pay off there as he is leading the pack on the left side out onto the right side of the course. But we did see also our current event leader, Daigo Komatsu from Japan, really putting in some big speed, actually leading out onto the left side of the screen. But look at our rider on the right at the minute. He's absolutely cruising.
Yeah, that is our, I believe, current event leader coming into the day, just pulling that nose down, getting all that speed. He maybe did not like that port hand flyer. He wants to get back over there and start asserting his dominance.
He is attacking, and let's just look at the difference in speeds here. Mattia in that Italy on the middle of our screens at the minute, and up on the top left, that I think that is indeed Daigo. He has the speed. Look at the spray from that board building up. He is railing super hard onto the right side of that course. He will be gaining and gaining and gaining. Will he be gaining enough all the way to the upwind mark? Everyone is sending it up to that upwind mark together. So there we will be seeing our our race leader at that upwind mark. Oh, what a shot!
What a shot! Look at that. We have some athletes on that left-hand side, some on that right-hand side. And what is so great about this Techno Plus feat, there is such a big range in age. Our current event leader, born 1992, 33 years old, and I think our youngest is 19. So there's a lot of age difference there, so maybe a lot of experience difference as well. But look at that. This is what great views. What amazing. Can we just give another shout out to our drone pilots, everyone? Everyone get a W in the chat for our drone pilots.
W's in the chat all round for the drone pilots, for the athletes, for the organisers, and everyone involved in making this pinnacle event happen. It's been absolutely amazing throughout this week, and what a way to end this event here in North Wales, Pwllheli, in the UK for the 2025 Techno293 World Championships. We are now on the last race for these athletes, so they will be leaving absolutely nothing on the line. Japanese 1016 on our screens at the minute.
That is right. That is Taikito, currently in third position coming into this final day with only 2 points to fourth. So this final race might matter so much for him. He's going to want to get that first position and give himself the best chance to get some silverware. But we've had such a big fleet split right now. Has the right hand side paid? Has the left hand side paid? I mean, it looks like they're coming in with a lot of speed over there.
They are certainly coming in with a lot of speed over here. And look at this rider, decided to tack off before the rest. And he leads this pack out onto this last little bit of the upwind. I have my thoughts that this could be event leader Daigo Komatsu from Japan. We'll have to find out in a very little sec to see that number. But look at the technique that he is having on here. And indeed, that is Daigo Komatsu, Japanese 1200.
Yeah, that is absolutely picture perfect technique right there. Just leaning off that sail, getting that sheet angle just right, getting those legs straight, driving through that dagger board, just absolutely sending it upwind right now. You can see why he's the current leader, everyone. Just flying across that water, but it does look like he has been crossed there. So not quite winning this race, but still he is up there on the results.
Certainly up there, but I think that was Takehito actually crossing him there, his Japanese teammates. So it's still game on within this race. It's still very close together.
That is right. Now we're not too sure on the story of the first two races, so we can only give you what to do, and we've just been told this isn't the final race on this course. This is only their second race of the day, so we can get maximum coverage.
Look at that though, he is absolutely cruising. Look at the lead that our race leader on our screens currently has at the minute. That is Takehito, all the way from Japan. He's leading out, he is planing, he is windsurfing. Kieran, as a multiple world champion, we can understand that if these riders are in more wind, they go faster. However, everyone is on exactly the same equipment. So if everyone is in the same wind and on the same equipment, how come some people go faster than others?
That is right. That is a great question, Rafty. I mean, there's so many ways to answer that. This is one design, like we have just said, but it's all down to that rider. I mean, that rider has so many settings to choose from. There's boom height, there's sheeting in angle, there's outhaul, there's downhaul, and also just the infinite ways the rider can use their body to connect that sail with that board. That really does come with experience and just getting out in loads of different conditions. And like I said, we have people in their 30s here who've had a lot of experience, so they will have plenty of time to get used to that. And there we go, round that second mark onto the first downwind. Decided to jibe set right there. So maybe he's just realised he's come back from a bit of a tough jibe there. So maybe letting some of the competitors get back into this.
Letting them get back into it, but no, he is straight back up on the foil. And what an amazing view we have here. All these Techno Plus riders managing to plane all the way through. They're up, their reach at the top of this course, and then straight away a quick jibe from our second place there, and then straight back up onto the plane.
Yeah, so it does seem like there is something over on that right-hand side. I mean, they have just had that reach coming from that direction. So maybe along that reach, they have felt in their sails that wind dropping. They want to jibe and get straight back over. And look at that. Whoa. That is a great play straight downwind.
This is an awesome shot, isn't it, Kieran?
It is. I mean, you can really see the angle differences there. And maybe they're going back to the other inner loop gate, but let's see. They have just done the reach, so this is the inner loop gate here. So unless something's happened,
I think the wind has just changed round a little bit. It must have been, isn't it? Oh, there is a boat coming across.
That is correct. We'll tell you what that is any second, but we'll stick with the action right here. But they are on their downwind leg going through. So that is right. They are not going towards that gate. The gate is over on the left-hand side of the screen somewhere.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. So they are doing the outer loop. We did see that gate there. That is the gate for the inner loop for this, for the under-17s now are coming across our screens. But the lime green sails of the Techno Plus will be rounding their gate further on to the left side out of our screens at the minute. But there is our current race leader. We talk a lot about planing windsurfing. But Kieran, what exactly is planing?
Yeah, so planing is when you have that wind, when you have enough wind, the board just jumps onto the plane, and what that is, a lot of the board comes out the water. It's around when there's 9, 10, 11 knots, and you just get an instant burst of speed. You know, you can see up to 10 knots of speed difference between planing and non-planing. That's why it's so important to get pumping and get that board on the plane. 10 knots of speed difference when they might be going 5 knots initially is such an advantage.
A huge advantage, and one also big advantage that you know I feel when I get planing is fun. You know, when you get planing on windsurfing, that is when everything starts to become, you know, also displacement is pretty fun. But as soon as you get that board planing, railing, that is when things turn epic.
Oh yes, and that is when you get the bigger people in the fleet. They start to become very happy, because when it gets windy and you have that extra mass, that extra strength, you certainly feel it. You start to fly, and you can go a lot quicker than everyone else.
And there we go, back to another shot, and oh god, I'm just look at it. Just look at it.
It is hard. It is hard not to love watching this, everyone.
This is
let's get some love in the comments for this footage once again. They are on their first downwind of this race, and they will be jibing towards that interlude gate coming up on your screen right now. There we go. This is a great angle. So we've seen one jibe and dropped off the plane there, so you can see it's starting to pump really hard to get back, but really different angles. It seems like there's a sailor over on the left who has really overlaid that bottom mark right there. So maybe a bit of a position change, a bit of a mistake right there.
Like a not just a big overlay, let's say a rather substantial overlay.
Exactly. I was being generous, but that is correct. It was a substantial overlay.
Yeah.
But they will be coming in with a lot of speed, and they might hang on to that first position, but they're letting everyone else back into this.
Certainly so. It's going to be very interesting to see at this bottom mark who comes out on top and take the lead. The first place, having overlaid that mark substantially, has now opened the gap and reduced the distance between that second place overall. So it is extremely close. Our second place just not making that ley line.
That is right, and we have the Japanese team coming round. I think that is Japan 1016.
Takehito, that is, yeah.
Takehito followed by Japan 155. So, I mean, these are teammates. They've come all the way from Japan. That is incredible to have them here in North Wales, and they have been smiles all week. Some of the friendliest people out there in the boat park.
It's so cool to see. All top two. Yoshida also made his way around now. And yet another Japanese rider, 1204, coming across the line. That gate, Hajime. And also Japanese 1200. Dago, our current event leader. The Japanese are absolutely shredding, ripping up the racing here in the World Championships.
That is right. And you can just see the mode change going around that bottom gate. They have gone from their mass track at the back, trying to get as little drag as possible planing, to getting around, pulling that mass track forward, getting that dagger board down, getting that extra lift so they can just attack the wind at the best angle.
At the best angle they do, which is very interesting because we see, as you said, a very big change in modes here.
Yeah.
Before they were going downwind, and now they're going straight back the other way upwind.
Straight back the other way upwind. And it is that in-between stage, so they can be planing downwind, but they will need that help from the dagger board, which goes directly down from the bottom of the board, and it just gives an extra bit of lift to help them get that angle through the wind. But when the wind does pick up around 15 knots, they can lift that dagger board up once again, reduce that drag, and they can go so much quicker, but the angle towards that top mark is much less. So that is a really fine bit of windsurfing that they need to weigh up in their head. Do we have the dagger board down, we go slower, but we sail a shorter distance? Or do we have the dagger board up and the mass track back in that planing mode, much lower angles, but much faster? That is something constantly going on in their mind. Do we have enough wind for this? What mode am I in? What decisions do I need to make in that moment?
And at the minute, they are in that railing mode, aren't they? With that dagger board down, trying to get as much lift on that board and lift of the whole equipment and just glide over the water a bit more.
That is right, but sometimes you do get that rogue bandit, we call them, when everyone else is in that dagger board, upwind railing mode, and you get that one person thinks, this is it, I can do this. It is enough wind right now, and they certainly send it. Sometimes it pays, sometimes it doesn't. But there is no rogue bandit out there today. Everyone is keeping it nice and safe.
That is, you have unlocked a core memory there, actually. That road bandit. I remember everyone, like this, everyone going off the fin, and then suddenly, just in the background, you'd see someone absolutely shredding just off the fin. And as you said, they have a lot less angle, but the speed is mega. But yeah, at the minute, the wind isn't quite enough for that at the minute.
That is right. And to be honest, most of the time, you're willing them to do it. They have taken the initiative. They have started sending it. Yeah. You are hoping and praying for them that they will come back from that corner of the course. But oh my, when it doesn't, it is game over.
It really is game over. But luckily, it's not game over for a lot of the athletes out here. For any of the athletes, when they're getting planing on this downwind, they gain that speed and gain that extra bit of speed over the course, pushing them up in the results. And then upwind, they are full power railing, leaning out from that equipment, directing all the power from nature, from the wind, into the sail through their bodies, and ultimately in that board translating to speed.
And that is right. And as we said earlier, we did just get a message from our onshore correspondent, Ali Masters, who said this is only the second race of the day, so there will be 2 more races, including this one, for their competitors. And everyone, I think we would like to see Ali Masters in the coaches race later, so drop us a line in the chat if you would like to see him in the coaches race. He's been around for a while. He's a bit of a legend amongst the people around here, so we would love to see him on the water later.
We certainly would. Another world champion on the Techno class, so as we've certainly will. I mean, I'd like to see you, Kieran. Come on.
that would be some previous world champions racing out together. But I'm not unfortunately. I'm loving being in this commentating box, and I would like to commentate on him racing later. So, Ali, if you're listening out there, get your wetsuit on, get ready. We will see you on the race course.
It is game on, and it is game on for all these other riders out here. The Japanese are absolutely shredding out here on the course. As we heard, yes, this is the second to last race, the penultimate race here on day 5 of the 2025 Techno293 World Championships.
That is right, and just back to this final upwind, we do have the Japanese really dominating this race, just heading out towards that left-hand side. All they'll be thinking about is getting that equipment going as fast as possible. But on the screen, we do see some white caps forming, so the wind does seem to be slowly picking up throughout the day.
Slowly picking up throughout the day, it is doing. I mean, earlier on in the morning, it was there was absolutely zero wind, wasn't there? And then it slowly started to build up to now.
That is right. It was not looking hopeful this morning, but we've crossed our fingers and the wind has come out to play. I think this is a little bit of a sea breeze direction, so just that extra heat, would you believe it, in North Wales has arrived, and that's just enabled the wind to start filling in from the ocean, which is where you're getting, this fairly consistent wind across the course. Usually one side does pay a little bit more than the other, so they will have to be doing their pre-start routine, we call it, to really figure out which side of the course is paying today.
Yeah, I mean, looking out there, it's looking great again. I mean, earlier on, I did thought it was a bit gusty, but it's not gusty at all, actually. I think I think closer to the shore, it kind of is, like, really close to the shore, just being affected a little bit. But out in the middle, I think it is pretty consistent out there, because you've got this coming literally from the sea.
Yeah, that is right. There's nothing in the background for miles and miles to get in the way of the wind, so it is looking fairly consistent. And we do have some people in the chat who would also like to see Ali in the coaches race. So, I mean, keep it coming. He can't disappoint the fans, surely.
Cannot happen. If you're hearing, Get on the course.
That's right. And back to their racing now. They are on their final upwind of race 2 of the day. Race 15 of the World Championships. In one more race after today, the World Champion will be decided. But look at that, we have the 7/8 in the background. So it does seem like the Techno Pluses have come out to that left-hand side. They want to stay away from all that dirty air.
It is amazing to see so many windsurfers just out here enjoying life, enjoying windsurfing and having the best time ever. But the pressure is still on for each and every one of these athletes. They are still racing, they are still pushing, they are still sending it on the boundaries, you know. Sometimes boundaries can be overstepped and there can sometimes be some crashes, you know. At the end of the day, this is an extreme sport, isn't it?
It can be extreme. When the wind picks up, you know, it can get a bit hairy. That is one of the hard things about this one design class. You know, you have to stay on the same sail no matter what the wind, which is obviously fine in the light winds, but, you know, when it gets up to that 20, 30 knot mark, it can get a little bit hairy.
"15 races in total we will be having here at the World Championships, and we are getting ever closer to that maximum amount of 15 races.
That is right. They are currently in their 14th race of their World Championships, the second race today. And it does seem like the Japanese sailor, they're just heading up towards that top mark. Quite a long second upwind, it seems like, actually. Maybe quite a bigger outer loop, which, you know, can give some opportunity to extend the lead, can give some opportunity to catch up. And let's see, our leader has gone round the top mark onto his final downwind of this race 14.
Race 14 is on our screens at the minute because we have a maximum amount of 15 races here at the World Championships. So we're getting ever closer to that maximum amount of 15 races.
That is right, and that is when our world champion will be crowned. And our athlete right here, they have put in a very commanding race. They have quite a lead over second place, and you can just see the bigger sail really helping staying planing compared to these 7/8s right here.
7/8, you know, they're currently in that displacement mode, but I'm not 100% sure if this is our race leader for the Techno, but he is pumping until he cannot keep pumping, and then he will be pumping some more.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We want to see lots of pumping in the chat. Yeah, that was flawless there, Rafty. I think it's going to be non-stop flawless from here on in for our final two races into race 14. We are currently on race 15.
Currently on race number 14 because we have 15 races at the maximum here at this World Championships. And what an absolutely amazing location. We have this race course on the water in the ocean, quite far out at the minute, you know, I mean quite far out, but still close enough so that all the spectators on the beach are watching this amazing racing, but surely in conjunction with this live stream, because here is where we can see the exact battles exactly when they happen. And here we have it. You know, he's keep pumping yet again because the amount of speed that he gains from that pumping is just huge.
That is right, and it does seem like position number 2 has managed to catch up on that downwind. They are weaving between the 7/8s right now. Just wanted to keep their own lane and their own position as they head down towards this bottom gate at the moment, but it does seem like there is a little bit less wind at the bottom. There's a lot less planing going on down here, so they are back into that scooping displacement mode. But as you can see, that's great technique right there, getting on the back of a wave, and that's when you want to really inject some pace into that sail and gain as much speed as you can.
Much speed as you can, because they not only want to go as fast as they physically can around this race course, but they also want to go the shortest distance. Just like racing in, for example, F1, you know what? They want to take the best route, so they do the shortest distance. However, they have to think about the braking, about a lot of other elements that these racers also have to think about. But, I mean, in my opinion, Kieran, would you say there's more elements to think about within this type of racing than F1?
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, that's the thing. When you're dealing with the elements, the possibilities are infinite, and anything can change in a moment. I mean, you're thinking internal, what's going on with me? What's going on with the equipment? How can I make this board and sail go as fast as possible? But then also you have to have one eye out on the rest of the competitors. What are the competitors doing around me? Do I need to attack people behind or defend the other people? And then what else am I thinking about? You also think about what's going to happen throughout the day. I mean, there's a forecast, everyone. The day will change. So you're thinking, where am I in that day? What is the wind going to do?
All of these things they have to think about not only during the race, it's also in between the races. For example, making sure that they are in the best physical shape for these races. A lot of these riders are lucky enough to have a support group, a support crew with a rib, with a coach on there where they can go and have a little rest, have a little bit of a refuel with food and drink. Or if they don't have that here, they're going to be resting in that water, just thinking, how can I really do well in this next race? Where do I need to go? How do I pump enough so I can get that speed? How am I going to get that next place in the results? Because we are at the tail end of this 2025 Techno 293 World Championships.
That is right. It really is a game of chess while you're working out as hard as you can at maximum heart rate. I mean, they will be averaging around 150 to 160 BPMs for 20 minutes times 3 races a day. That is a lot, ladies and gentlemen. As we see our Techno Plus green sail leaders coming round this bottom gate right there, they will be going towards the right for a short final stretch before that finish. This has been a long race for them.
This has been a very long race for them. Remember, we have a target time of 20 minutes for each and every one of these races, so it is a big stint that all these riders need to do. And here we have Japan 1016 on our screens at the minute of Takehito Katayama. He is coming into today in 3rd place overall, and he finishes crossing that line, I think, in that 1st place, picking up a dub. Let's get a W in the chat for Takehito.
That is right. That will go a long way to help the cause. Followed by position number 2, Japan 1200. That is our current leader, Diago Komatsu from Japan. So another second to his scorecard. That is going to really help potentially extend him out into the lead a little bit more. And then another Japanese sailor coming across the finish line in 3rd, 155. A little bit in 7th position came into today, so another great. I mean, the Japanese are really asserting their dominance in this Techno Plus men's fleet.
And there we have also Narvin, Thailand 20, also coming through the line. We have some big supporters for Narvin out here, and he is doing well. He is receiving your support, so it's great to see people from all around the world watching in. So make sure you show all your friends, all your fans, and all the supporters of each and every one of these riders that this live show is going on right now, so they can come and join the action.
Yes, certainly. We will be back shortly with the final race of this Techno 293 World Championship, where there will be our world champions crowned. So stay tuned. It will be coming with you shortly. And we are back, everyone, for our final race of the day. You're back here with me, Kieran Holmes Martin, and
I'm Rafty Reed, and it is yet again game on for the 5th day of the 2025 Techno293 World Championships. What's going to be happening, Kieran?
That is right. Well, thank you, first of all, for sticking around for this final race. We are starting off with the Techno Plus fleet for their 15th and final race of the competition as we head into the 4 minutes now. We are... once again, these are just incredible views we have for you with these drones.
It is looking dreamy yet again here in North Wales, Pwllheli, in the UK. And, wow, yeah, I mean, again, we've had a range of conditions throughout today, haven't we?
Yeah, that is right. I mean, there was no wind this morning when we first got down here. It did look like we might not even get any races in today, but then that sea breeze just kicked in early, and we've managed to get 2 races for these 7/8s and under 17s and Techno Plus fleet. And then we just had a short delay. Maybe there was some wind shifts out on the course. The race officer and committee were just getting everything to ideal racing conditions, and it looks like they have got them underway.
We are going to be getting going in around 3 minutes for their final race for the Techno Plus here on day number 5. This will be their final race of the whole championships. So we are going to be seeing the athletes push like there is no tomorrow, because there is no tomorrow. This is the last of the last here for the 2025 World Championships. So make sure you stay glued to your screens throughout this whole race, and also to all your friends who've been watching, who've been switched off in that little bit of a break we had, get everyone back on the screen, on the stream, and also all your friends, all the fans of all these athletes and everyone else who wants to be in for a great show. Share this link around and get them in for the action.
Yeah, that is right. We have seen the love in the chat over the last few hours. Let's keep that going. I mean, we've already seen a few world champions crowned this morning, and we're going to get at least 3 more world champions crowned in this final race of the day.
But who will it be? Who will be winning this last race? Only 2 minutes to go until we get underway with this Techno Plus race. 15 races is the maximum amount of races within this championships, and we are at 14, so this will be the last race of it all. What's your thoughts, Kieran? How are they going to be riding?
Yeah, I mean, as we count down to the final 1 minute 40, we are once again under that I flag. We do not want to be over that line in that final minute. I mean, the story of the day, it has seemed fairly consistent out there. It does look like it's dropped off a bit, so I think there'll be a little bit less planing. And, I mean, in the previous races, we have seen that right-hand side come out. So I'm sure they've been on their coach boat. They've been chatting to their fellow teammates of which side will be coming out. I mean, at the moment, it looks like we've got a mixed bag. We've got some starboard end, we've got some port end, and again, that line sag in the middle.
And in one of the previous races, we did see one port flyer make it all the way out, crossing and flying all the riders on starboard. Will we be seeing yet another one of those? Stay tuned as we are inside of the last 50 seconds or so until they go ahead. Wind out on the water. It really has dropped, Kieran, hasn't it?
It really has. It looks like it's down to around 7 to 8 or 9 knots. I mean, they have been having quite long race courses, so I mean, this is going to be a really tough final race for them, but they're going to have to dig deep if they want to win that medal. I mean, the story of the week so far, the Japanese have certainly dominated the Techno293 Plus men's fleet, with Diago Komatsu in a commanding lead before today, followed by Navin Thailand 20 and Taikito Katayama in that 3rd position. I think we saw a few of those in that top 3 in the final race, so it looks like they are on as we're down into the final 5 seconds.
We are yet again getting underway, the last race here in this championships for the Techno Plus, and we are away. Everyone pumping that sail, putting the gas in, one out in the middle, trying to rail that board, but not quite. It is still full power displacement mode. Japan 155 now putting in some big pumps, managing to get on that rail just a little bit, but dropping off straight away. But down to that bottom end, let's look at the top of our screens in a minute. It's looking like there they have the best start so far within this race.
Yeah, that is right, and it was a cracking start from everyone. A bit more people clamped down that poor end of the line for a change, so maybe there was a little bit of line bias, which means that poor end was closer to the upwind mark, so they wanted to get to that advantageous line. And you can see the people at the top right of the screen are starting to punch out. They have had a very commanding lead from the get-go.
Look at Japan 155 though, absolutely cranking across the screens at the minute. He has the speed now. Look at his speed difference towards the whole rest of the riders within this race, and he does not stop. He is pumping until he can't anymore, and then he pumps some more. What a leg from him there.
What an example of what Rafferty has been talking about all morning, and you can just see how much distance they have made from that bit of pumping there. Now they will be so tired. They're going to hopefully have a short rest, and let's see if they pull in another stint of effort, a few of those, and I think they might be leading towards the top.
Indeed, that is Yoshida Sakuto, all the way from Japan. He is looking like, purely from that leg there, he is leading already this little race. Will he be leading throughout this race? We'll all find out. But in these very light winds, I mean, now it's dropping throughout the day, might be becoming a little bit more patchy. So still, these riders, not only do they have to be working really hard, as we saw Yoshida working to the absolute max there, getting that speed, they also have to keep their minds all the way until the very end in the game.
Yes, and as we zoom out now, we're about to get a good bird's eye view of the race course. And as we've seen, Japan 155 is working super hard over that top end, who look like they have also quite an advantage. So when they tack, as they are now, we will see them come together, and we will see who will come out on top.
Here is where the crosses happen. Remember, all of these riders side diagonally or right side diagonally. At the minute, we are onto the left side or onto the right side. We'll onto the left side or onto the right side. We'll find out very soon.
Yes, certainly. And we have seen towards that boat end, that starboard.
Lightening off here, and that means it's just going to come as.
Is right. I mean, as the day goes on, it's starting to means the sea breeze isn't quite as Apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen, but it looks like we are back. Of course, with anything live, there can be some technical issues, but we haven't missed too much. We've missed one downwind, and the athletes are back onto their second upwind of their final race.
We are certainly back in the game, and we have more action for you, so it is absolutely amazing to see this last race here on the 2025 Techno293 World Championships. On our screens at the minute, we have the Techno Plus, the open fleet on those 8.5 meters squared lime green sails, absolutely pushing to the max, even though it is super light wings. They are working their bodies, working that power of the wind into those sails, translating that to speed, and also keeping their heads in the game.
Yeah, that is right. I mean, as we can see the wind drop, they will be bringing their bodies inboard and just trying to get that sail as upright as possible to capture as much wind. And then, like we've said over and over, it's all about pumping.
Pumping. Italy 212. Also on the screens there, Christian Porciu from Italy. But looking at some of the leaders within this event so far for the Techno293 Men's Class Plus, Daigo Komatsu from Japan having a very good week. He did come into today leading by 8 points. But in that close second from Thailand was Navin Singat. And finishing off that top 5 was Takihito Yuto and Hajime, all from Japan, showing us that the Japanese team are extremely strong.
That is right. And we are going over to a different camera angle right there. Look at that, just looking over the whole race course. And just going to the comments in the chat, yes, we will be trying to transmit the coaches' race. We know everyone is excited about that. Let's just drop in a like or a comment to see if people want to see the coaches' races, as we are just scanning the course right now.
Scanning the course, and it's looking amazing. What a location we have here in Pwllheli, North Wales, in the UK. You know, some people might say UK, oh yeah, rubbish weather. Just have a look at this.
Once again, apologies for any technical issues. It is trying its best to get us off the stream, but we are back. And I think there is some of the Techno293 Plus leaders maybe working their way down towards the finish line. This might be the tail end of the fleet, but back in the game we certainly are yet again, seeing the action here on day number 5 of the Techno293 World Championships. We are currently witnessing the last race of the day and the last race of the whole championship, so these riders will be absolutely pushing to the very end. That is right, and we have been following the Techno293 Plus, and we will do our best to get some under 17 action as well, because we are seeing some world champions crowned after this race.
World Champions crowned. We've already had World Champions crowned in the other fleet here in North Wales, Pwllheli, and we will see some more World Champions crowned, the 2025 ones to be exact. But out on the water, it has been a roller coaster yet again, but one thing that has stayed consistent is the sun.
That is right. It has been shining down. I mean, I'm a little bit sunburned. I can't imagine what it's like being out there. And I think this is our leader of the race. It is Japan, Taikito Katayama, Japan 1016. just working really hard in their final race. They are currently in third coming into this final day. Obviously, unsure on the current standings, but I mean, winning the final race, that is going to help.
What a way to end the event. You know, he hasn't finished quite yet, but he has certainly got a very nice lead as he is pumping all the way downwind. You know, someone at this high caliber of level within this World Championships, he is at the absolute top of the world within this race in this exact moment. He is at the top of the world. Will he be able to be at the top of the world all the way to the finish? I think he will be.
That is right. I mean, there is a competitor coming screaming down towards them, behind them, on the plane. They are working super hard, and I think he's just spotted them. Look at that injection of power into the sail. He is going to pull up a fight. He's not going to roll over.
Exactly. He is on defending mode right now of Japan 1016 Takehito. He is in defending mode, and he's still in speed mode, even though it is quite light winds out there, and he's in displacement mode. He is speeding all the way down to that bottom gate. Now, not much separating him between that finish, the last finish here on day number 5 of the World Championships.
That is right. Apologies if the stream starts culling out, but we are doing our best. But he's on that final reach, coming over the finish line in first position. I think maybe a top three finish for the week. Let's see how they celebrate.
Incredible stuff. Also planing across that finish line. That is Takehito Katayama, all the way from Japan, finishing off his event with a race win. What a way to finish it, eh? He is going to be happy. And look at it. He's wearing board shorts out here in North Wales. It's the place to be right now.
That is right. We are not lying, ladies and gentlemen. It is warm out there. And we have a fellow Japanese sailor coming across the finish line, 4924.
Yuto
Aoki. So it's going to be close up there. We will not know who is the winner until we see those final results. And a few more coming over the finish line.
Another Japanese rider, 463. That is indeed. Let's try and find the number. Can't quite make it. But another Japanese rider and another one, 221.
That is consistency across the board for the Japanese sailors. They have come here meaning business. They have stomped their mark on the fleet. I mean, we haven't seen some of our overall 1 and 2 leaders come across the finish line yet.
Singapore also coming through the line now. Singapore 29. That is Jonathan Chan, all the way from Singapore, under 19 years of age. He was born in 2008 and finishing this race as well with a very good result.
That is right, followed by our first Spanish sailor coming over the finish line right now, followed by some more Japanese. They are working incredibly hard to get over the finish line. What a week it has been for them. 15 races across 5 days.
15 races across 5 days, ending the event actually 1 day early, which is absolutely amazing. The conditions have been delivered here in North Wales, Pwllheli, in the UK. Forecast for tomorrow is actually meant to be extremely light, which is why we have finished the event now. Currently finishing the event, these riders are completing their pinnacle event of the year, an absolutely huge achievement.
That is right, and there is Navin coming over the finish line. Thailand 20 in second place, coming into his final day, so maybe not the best final race he would have been after. Let's hope it has been enough to keep hold of that medals. I know there's been a lot of love in the YouTube comments for the Thai sailor. And I think we will start to head over towards the 7-8 fleet. We would like to catch some more racing from everyone of the day. So, first of all, congratulations to the Techno Plus fleet. That was incredible work.
Incredible work for them, and incredible work for all the athletes out here racing, and currently also on the course, racing it out for their final race of the day of the whole event is the 7.8s.
That is right. It looks like the 7-8 girls fleet racing away at the moment. I think all fleets might be underway. We'll just check out the window. It is hard to tell sometimes the difference. They are on the same sail, but what what a week we have been bringing so far.
It is absolutely amazing as we're seeing this next rider crossing that upwind mark. Is it the upwind mark? I think
that's the first
indeed.
Upwind, yes. Yeah. And they are heading... That's right, and we've just had word that the under-17 boys have been on the outer loop and the under-17 girls have been on the inner loop, and they are merging at the moment, so it is going to be tricky to make out who's who, but I mean, look at this. This is incredible sailing right now.
Amazing to see under-17s, both boys and girls, racing together. Even though they're on different courses, they are racing together, not against each other, just sharing the stoke, sharing the love of windsurfing. All of us here involved in this event. It's absolutely amazing to see all coming together to this amazing location. Oh, I'm saying amazing a lot. This great location here in Pwllheli.
Yeah, that is right. I mean, we have to give a big shout out to all the volunteers, all the organisers of this competition. Really, without them, this wouldn't have gone ahead. I mean, we've had incredible conditions this whole week, but without them, we've not been able to get out on the water. I mean, 7 fleets with over 260 competitors. They've done so well to get all the races done with a day to spare, no less.
With a day to spare, indeed, but they're still working to the absolute very end. We got one rider there putting in some big pumps, just getting that speed on the board. It's looking pretty light up there. It's looking very light, maybe even under 10 knots now.
It does look that way. I mean, they have a smaller sail as well. They're on the 7.8 meter sail compared to the 8.5 that the Techno Plus has been on. So probably less opportunities to go planing, but the tactics will still be there nonetheless. They will be working super hard, and we are doing our best to get some footage of the fleet right now. And look at that overview. There is just so many people on the course right now. Like I said, this is the leaders of the 718 girls, I believe, on the inner loop. So they will be battling it out to get that first place. And we have currently Linda Dios from Spain winning in this fleet, followed by Laura Castanete from Italy, and another Spanish, Martina Tor.
Barbara Tor from Spain, also in that third place position coming into today. However, remember, these are not the ultimate results, so do check the website, do check all the links, follow the socials to see all the action, exactly how it happens. However, you are in the right place right now if you are watching this live show. Exactly the right place, as we are seeing exactly what happens when it happens.
That's right. Stay with us as we watch it unfold. I mean, it is tight at the front right now. There are 4 or 5 different competitors really neck and neck. They are working so hard on this downwind. I mean, you cannot let off the gas here. If you let off the gas, you will be overtaken straight away. You wanna look around. You wanna give the nod and go, please, let's just take a breather. But they are going to be wanting that first position.
Exactly. As soon as one person takes a breather, that lets the other rider come through, and that is the goal for each and every one of these riders. So, they are going absolute max. They don't want to stop because that opens up the gap for the next person to come through. España, Spain at 48 on our screens at the minute. That is Martina Barbara Tor, currently leading this race. Last year in the World Championships, she did finish second. She came in today in third place position. She's currently leading this race, so could she be up more on that podium?
That is right. I mean, a first in the last race will go really far to getting some silverware. Like you say, they have just been pumping the whole downwind, and they've rounded that bottom mark, and yet, you guessed it, they are straight back into pumping. There is no let off for them. That is the name of the game. I mean, they are some incredible athletes out there. They will be pulling in some gym work, some cardio work. This is really an all-round sport.
Kieran, can you tell us a little bit about when you were at the top and you got those World Championship titles? Can you tell us a bit about your work outside of windsurfing?
That is right. I mean, well, we were still back in school that day, so fortunately there's lots of sports going around, but I mean, at this age, it is all about enjoyment. You want to be enjoying it as much as you can, so there was a little bit less emphasis on getting in the gym and doing your specific goals training. You just want to be getting outside and doing different sports, getting the fitness going, and getting as much windsurfing in as you can. You know, the best training for windsurfing you can do is windsurfing itself.
Exactly, and that's one thing. I mean, I'm lucky enough to still be out on the water most days training for racing myself, and you know, I of course go to the gym, but the best training and the most fun training, I'm a strong believer in that if you find something fun, you excel at it. So the best training is just on the water.
That is right, and as we just see, Greece 194 has just let the other Greek sailor come in there, but has let her pass and come around on port. And as we know, the port sailor has to keep clear. Now, it looks like a bit of a right-hand shift there. They came around this bottom left-hand gate.
Very close in there.
Oh, thread the needle.
Thread the needle.
But as you see, it does seem as that wind is dropping, maybe there's a bit of a persistent shift towards the right. That is where the wind starts moving towards the right as you look upwind, which is why all the athletes going towards the right hand side is a bit of advantage. You can see the angle difference. They're pointing very far upwind right now.
The wind is really dropping off now, though. Definitely under 10 knots of breeze. No one actually planing or railing in this race at the minute. They're probably about, let's say, maybe halfway through, just over halfway through their race at the minute. And remember, this is their last race of the competition. This is the last race of the whole event for each and every one of these athletes. So, you know, they gotta keep pushing.
Exactly. They will not want to be letting off the gas in this final race. They're going to leave it all out there on the line. And like I said, this is the final race. Why not leave it all out there on the line? This is what matters. This is where it happens.
This is exactly where it happens. And all you watching, this is exactly where it happens, as you are in the right place. Looking like maybe the wind's slightly picked up. You can see the speed has really increased from these riders.
That is right. Maybe there's a few puffs still left out there to grab in that dropping conditions throughout the end of the day. It is getting a bit variable, but it looks like we are with some of the leaders right now. You see, they are in the foot straps. Their feet are in the foot straps, which means there's probably at least 8 knots out there, and they are just really trimming that board right now. It may not look like they're doing too much, but they are looking at every wave in front of them. How can we react? How can we move our body to make the board fly across the water? What can we do with our hands to sheet in, to sheet out, to bear up, to bear down? There's so many things they're thinking about. They are not just standing there.
It is great to see Barbara on our screens now, really working this equipment to the absolute max. Kieran, first of all, can you tell us how many years ago you were racing this equipment, and has the equipment changed at all?
I don't know if I can count that high, but
come on.
No, I think 15, at least 15 years ago. And the equipment is still the same. I mean, they update and give updated models every now and then, but the core essence of the equipment is exactly the same.
That really shows the performance of this equipment. You know, it's the durability, the performance, the ability to enjoy windsurfing, the ability to just windsurf at a basic level on this equipment throughout the years and throughout the wind conditions. As we're seeing Spain 48, that is indeed Martina Barber-Tor, showing us exactly how to use this equipment.
That is right. She was our leader from the bottom gate, and she has maintained that lead all the way to the top, so she is not letting off the gas. And like I said, she has just been working all the way upwind and now on the reach. Whoa. Arguably the hardest leg of the race, because you cannot let off. This is the angle where you can get the board going the quickest. Look at that. She is in the foot straps and planing right now. Finally, she's on the plane. She can have a brief moment to hook in and get some valuable rest for that downwind leg.
Absolutely incredible stuff, and she's still pumping to keep that board on the plane and keep that board going extremely fast. Now she is just in that defending place, leaning out from that equipment, holding onto that uphaul to get the mast as upright as possible to catch as much wind, and driving through her legs into that board and ultimately in that fin to get the lift on the board and keeping that board planing.
Yeah, that is right. She is working so hard right now. When she is hooked in, we call it a Super 7 stance. You can see a 7 between the arms and the boom and the legs, and looks like she's just dropped back off the plane. So it is very gusty out there. They have to be searching for that wind.
Have to be searching throughout this course, but also searching at these waves. This is a great shot here to see that there are some little bits of swell coming down. Definitely picked up from the wind that we've had earlier today and also in the week. But the fight for second and third is extremely close. Italy 2-7-3 on our screens at the minute. That is Susanna Panici from Italy, and in third, in a very close third, only a couple board lengths or so, it's separating these two under 17 girls, and the Greek rider is putting in the pumping. She is putting in the work, and she has overtaken the Susanna and taken that second place.
She has certainly made her presence known. Look at that, and she's now approaching the leader. She has just gone from third to first. What a move. That is incredible play.
An absolutely amazing move from Greece 194. Evgenia from Greece. She showed us she has what it takes to be right at the top by pumping, using that equipment, keeping it still, keeping it stable, and keeping that board planing to translate to speed. It's enough speed to take the lead.
That is right. A beautiful example of what we've been saying. Those that work the hardest in this condition will come out on top. And I mean, what a length of a reach they have here. This is really brutal stuff for them.
It is lengthy, a proper lengthy reach.
And as they come round, they will be mixing with some of the boys, trying to keep clear, trying to stay their own lane. It'll be hard to keep an eye on who is who, especially if you're racing out there. You need to know who is your immediate competitor. Who do you need to beat? Who do you need to cover? Who do you need to defend?
There'll be a lot of defending, but also a lot of attacking now, not only from the under-17 girls that we've been following throughout this race, now also the under-17 boys that they are now kind of mixing around with, being on the same legs. However, they're not racing together. They're only racing their gender.
That is right, that is right. We are following the under-17 girls here for this final race, where we will see a World Champs crown. It looks like Italy is now making a bit of a comeback, a bit of covering, might be stealing a little bit of the other competitors' wins from them.
Maybe a little bit indeed. Now, in this slightly lighter winds, that covering, especially downwind, is really, really important, because as they're heading directly downwind, they are directly covering the wind. So no one wants to be right in front of them, because they're just going to have the wind and overtake you. You want to be in front, but slightly to the side.
That is right. If you are directly behind, there is a thing called wind shadow, and that spans as much as 5 times the length of the sail. So you might look like you're ahead, but if you're in that wind shadow, you might potentially have 1 or 2 knots less wind. But it looks like a Greek sailor here, they have just taken those waves and they're just powering ahead at the moment.
Evgenia had an amazing top reach. That was where she executed an amazing little stint, let's say, a little stint of pumping, a little stint of planing, allowing her to take the lead within this race. And it's looking like she's got quite a substantial lead here.
That is right. She saw the other girls maybe step off the gas for just a moment, and she thought this is the time to attack, and she's making it count. And you know what? She is not stopping. She's keeping going, and it looks like she's just increasing her lead all the way to the finish now.
Increasing it. This is a great position for Evgenia to be in, because she has enough lead that she can decide exactly where she wants to go. She's probably got, let's say, maybe 20 seconds or so lead.
It looks that way, and now she'll just be thinking, can I make sure I'm on that inside line? Can I keep between the next boy and the rest of the competitors? And that finish line must feel so close, but the work and the job is not done just yet.
Exactly. So close, but yet so far. She cannot afford to take her pedal off the gas. She is pumping all the way downwind. She is pumping as much as she can.
That is right.
We're back in the game.
So we're back in the game. Anyway, it looks like they're coming around that final mark towards that final reach. This might be one
Italy, 89.
Under 17 boy, perhaps. Like I said, they are mixing on the race course right now.
But here is our first place.
That is correct. Our first place in this race. 2 Greek sailors, I think. That might be an under-17 boy as well. It's hard to keep track right now.
Yeah, sorry, I had a little fly in my mouth there. There's a few flies around because it is summertime. It is amazing. The sun is beaming down, and also the insects are loving the sun. But also, who is loving the sun are the windsurfers out here in the lead in that first place position. It is Evgenia from Greece. Greece 194, but a big battles for that 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th place.
That is right. It looks like our leaders will be coming over the finish line. They will be so happy to make it through the week's racing. Are we going to see to celebrate? That's their arms over the boom. Absolutely knackered.
Absolutely knackered indeed. Italy 2, Agata Della Fabbro. She came into today in 4th place overall. Will she be sticking in that, moving down, moving up? Make sure you check the website and the results to find exactly how. But all these riders coming towards the finish now. This marks their end of the 2025 Techno293 World Championships.
That is right. We will see our world champions crowned very soon. Usually there'll be some people jumping in the water, so just bear with us. There will be some world champions coming through the race finish line any moment.
Certainly so, as all the nations from all around the world, over 260 athletes racing it out here in Pwllheli, enjoying windsurfing, enjoying life.
And what a week it has been. And once again, thank you to all the organisers, all the race committee, all the volunteers out here. And, thank you to all the parents of the athletes for getting them here. That is incredible work. Really, without them, they would not be able to do this.
Wouldn't be able to do this, but also this whole event wouldn't be possible as well. So again, a huge shout out to everyone who's made this event possible so we can see this action. Everyone can enjoy the love of windsurfing. This is just absolutely epic. We are seeing on our screens at the minute current world champions, but also probably some absolute future superstars.
That's right. Maybe some future Olympians in the making. Like we said, this is a bit of a transition class now where you can learn those really important skills before maybe the switch to foiling, which is the current Olympic class.
But it is looking great. We can see that flag up on that committee boat. That is signifying that the riders will be making their way back to shore.
That is right. They have completed their allocated 15 races for this competition with a day to spare. That is incredible work. There wasn't much wind forecast for tomorrow, so all the organisers thought, let's get all the racing in while we can, while we know the wind is there.
And all the racing we can do, but still looking out on the water, it's looking extremely light, but we can see these riders are working. Oh no!
Oh, I think they just a quick cool off before the finish line. I think
he made it. He really tried the best possible, and we were watching it. We were all watching it. Portugal 16. A huge shout out to Portugal 16. Let's just see who it is.
Absolutely wanted it. He really wanted
that
it.
That is Jamie Diniz. An absolute shout out for Jamie Diniz. He wanted it, he'll get it next time.
Yeah,
he'll get it
right.
next time.
Shout out to Jamie. That was incredible work. Getting over that 15 races, you're going to be so tired. You just want to rest.
He wants to rest, but he was no slouching. Hammer, a great innings from you, and a great competition for each and every one of these athletes. As we see another big chunk of these 7.8 riders, these under 17 riders, making their way towards the line. Hungary 2 starting to plane. Estonia 200, GBR also in there, all starting to pump up onto the plane towards that finish.
Look at that. That is where it matters, and its final short reach. It is not over just yet. Any last scrap of energy you have inside of you, just use it up before that finish line as we follow some of these final competitors come over the finish line.
Over the finish line they do go. Estonia 68 in there as well. 68. No, can't quite make it out. That is Sander Lasma. Sander Lasma, Estonia 68. But we have riders from all around the world here. Greece 1-3 also in there as well. That is Yanis Deskes. Shout out to him. GBR524 also in amongst of the crew there. That is Callum Dixon. Another great rider, and another British rider in there, Turkey 9007, also in there.
That is right. It's good to see some of the Brits in the mix there, with some Spanish, some Belgium, some Turkish. People from all over the world have come to the 2025 Techno 293 World Championships.
And that is the end for a lot of these riders. This is their last leg before they finish. A big battle towards that mark there. Where will this British rider be able to put in their jibe? They need to swing that sail, but he is pushing it out. He's pushing it out.
Sailing them away from the finish line. A last bit of tactics before the finish line.
There is no slouching. It is always battle on for all of these riders.
That is right. And it is not quite over yet, ladies and gentlemen. There is one more race yet to be broadcast. Arguably one of the most important races of the week. And what is that, Ref D?
It is the coaches race.
That is right. That is right. The coaches have been on the boat all week watching their sailors battle out, and now it is time to stamp their mark on the race course. There is a lot on the line, everyone.
There is going to be a lot on the line, so we want to hear the chat absolutely alive. W's in the chat, but also for all you athletes watching on shore, I want you to be putting in some good chats in there, I think. But still, we have the rest of this under-17s group coming towards the line, towards that finish, rounding that last mark. This is their last race of their whole event. A huge congratulations to each and every one of these riders, not only for being out here and racing in the World Championships, but also just loving windsurfing, you know? It's a very special thing.
That is right. It's good to see the sport maintaining and growing throughout. Of course, Techno class has been around for at least 20 years now, and it does not look like it's dying anytime soon.
Anytime soon indeed. It's GBR227 also coming across that line there. Very good innings from each and every one of these athletes. It's still looking pretty light out there though, eh?
Yeah, it certainly is. As some of the final athletes trickle over the finish line. We've been Marine Cast Media. It's been a pleasure bringing this action to you live.
It's been so much fun, and make sure you do stick around because the action is not up yet. We're not finished yet. We're witnessing the end of this race, and we still have a lot to go.
That is right. Yeah, we're unsure when the coaches race might be happening, but we will be bringing it. We will be bringing it live to you.
Yeah, so make sure you do not go anywhere. Witness the end of this under-17 race, and later on today we will be having that extremely fun and exciting coaches race. So do not go anywhere, and we'll see you all very soon.
And that is us off, ready for the much anticipated coaches race 2025. Rafty, what are you expecting?
I am expecting power, I'm expecting speed, and most of all, I'm hoping we're going to be seeing these coaches pushing to the absolute max, and something is telling me that they are going to go absolutely full.
That is right. They have been training so hard for this all week. Let's just get the course on for everyone here at the moment. We have an upwind gate, down to a bottom gate, back up to an upwind gate, then down to the finish.
2 laps of this upwind course. Now, a very interesting thing about here is that they can actually decide which way they go round the top mark. Usually it's just the bottom gate, but now we also have a top gate, and we've also seen on the course that these gates are actually very far apart. So it's going to be extremely exciting. All these races, but actually coaches are right next to the shore as well. So the wind is going to be a bit sketchy, but also the racing is going to be a bit sketchy. These coaches Let's see if they can put it on the race course. Usually they're talking to all their riders, all their students, exactly what to do. But can they do exactly what they want to do themselves? I think we're going to find out.
That is right. It's time to put the money where their mouth is. We have around 15 coaches on the course right now. A mix between Techno Plus sails and 7.8 sails.
Are you thinking that the 8.5 metre sails are going to win, or the 7.8 metre sails, Kieran?
I think they might all get tired by the upwind mark, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, right. Normally the athletes have to go 5 days with racing, but these coaches, they only have one race, so they are putting it all on the line. But for sure, I think they're going to be pretty gassed by the end of this, eh?
Right. And there is a big line sag that we see. You would think they would know how to measure transit by now, but we are seeing otherwise.
Otherwise, indeed, these coaches do not know how to get close to a start line, but we don't actually know. We don't actually know when the goers, so they could be getting closer to the start line at that gun. Remember, they, along with the athletes, around 30 seconds to go until this start. Along with all the athletes, they are going to be wanting to hit that start line with full speed at the gun. And here we're going until the start for the coaches' race. The coaches' race here at the 2025 Techno293 World Championships. This is the moment we have all been waiting for, and we are away.
And they are off. Look at them in the middle of the line. Is that Alicia Gibson? She is absolutely pumping as hard as she can.
Absolutely hard as we can. But Italy 297 down this bottom end. I think that is Dolev Isaac. If all our information is correct, Japan 1200. Also having a good one down there. Diago Komatsu. If that is, he did very well in the racing. I think he might be in the coaches race as well.
He must be tired by now. That is it. A short, sharp sprint to the upwind gate where they get to decide, do they go around the left or do they go around the right hand side? And it looks like some have stopped pumping already. That is that tiredness kicking in.
Tiredness is kicking in. They need to hit the gym a bit more, I think, eh?
I think they might. And we have the first tack. Is there going to be some crosses? There is clear leaders and clear behind us already.
Clear leaders, clear behind us. But what we are going to see down that in the middle there, maybe a little rubric going on there. The sailor on that white sail, the coach on that white sail definitely didn't have the right of way there. Did we see any rule infringements there? Coaches are very familiar with rule infringements, but maybe they don't know it enough when they race themselves.
That is right. I think they will be pushing that rule infringement today. But from the top of the screen, it does look like we have some clear winners coming across right now.
Just so we all know, this race doesn't count towards anything, but what is important is that egos are at stake. Will we be seeing some battles in here? We are already seeing some battles. Will we be seeing any coaches crying by the end of this? We might also see that as well.
That is right. If they don't do well, maybe their sailors will be in search of new coaches out there. But, so it really is important to do well for these coaches.
And we have our first place rounding that top gate now. Italy 3-4-1. Enrico Piccone rounding in that first place position.
That's right. It is getting tight out there. He has gone round clear ahead, followed by someone on the Turkish sail. There has been someone opting for this other gate. It does seem like they are the sole person over there.
And rounding the other gate, actually splitting the course now, is Spain 60. Thomas Vieto Cobian from Spain. He's looking like he's in clean wind here.
That's right, and they were working their way back downwind. We'll get you an angle of that right now.
Look at that, and there is the race so far within this Coaches Race 2025 World Championships. This is exhilarating.
That is right, and they're already back on that second upwind. It looks like the left-hand side is certainly paying off right now.
Paying off, it does. I mean, the wind in here is extremely sketchy. It's all over the place. So these riders are still pumping. These coaches are still pumping. It's looking like still Italy 3-4-1 is in the lead. Enrico Piccone.
Oh, and he's just looked back at his fellow competitor. He is letting him know, I am tacking on you. I personally cannot believe they are still able to pump for this long.
It is quite incredible, if I do say so myself. This is great to see. These coaches are pushing all the way to the very end of the competition. You know, they could be, some have fallen, some have been boring, and they are putting away their boats, being boring, stuff like this. But these riders these coaches love windsurfing, and they are straight out on the course to race a bit themselves.
That is right. There's some extra props going to them. It is getting tight up there. Will they abide by the rules, or are they just racing to finish and get to that bar tonight?
I think they might be. All the probably riders are getting ready to party, and now the coaches are having their time on the water, probably jealous throughout this week, because the vast majority, if not all of the coaches here, were once racing themselves, and some very tight battles at that top mark. Turkey 9907.
There's been a caught up there. They have been snagged.
That is
the experienced João Rodriguez. 7 Olympics coming in there. The port starboard rule, it's gone out the window.
It is gone out the window indeed. Where's all that experience? We want to see it now.
And we are coming down at the moment. We're trying to get everyone back in the frame.
And remember, they only do 2 laps within this coaches race. It is extremely light winds out there, but already we do have some leaders. Who is in the front? Can't quite make out the numbers there, but we have the 7.8 sails. We have 8.5 meter sails. We have a hand up. Who has taken the win within this coaches race for the 2025 World Championships?
Who is it?
Who is it?
We can't even tell.
Who is it?
There we go. We're getting some camera angles.
There we go. Oh, Spain 60. That is Thomas Vieto Cobian taking the win.
Unbelievable work. And this is at GBR 3361. Crossing the finish line.
That was exhilarating. Lucy Kenyon right up there from the UK, having a great race there. Greece 36 also in there. That I think that is matching up to.
There we go. Get the ambulance at the ready. They are going to need some resuscitation after this.
This is awesome to see. This was the moment we have all been waiting for throughout the week. GBR 3485. I think that is indeed 3484. That is Millie Irons, I think. 331. Yeah.
Absolute scenes out there, ladies and gentlemen.
The 3316 is Lucy Kenyon.
Lucy Kenyon. And there she is.
Yeah. Who just crossed the screen? I think that was Millie. Where's Cam at? Come on.
We've lost some competitors out there, ladies and gentlemen, but put your hands together for your coaches. I know everyone on the shore will be watching, excited, screaming for their coaches to win.
And there we had our winner, all the way from Spain, our winner of the 2025 World Championships Coaches Race is Thomas Vieto Cobian.
That is right. Put your hands together. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for this coaches race. This has been unbelievable.
What a way to finish off the World Championships. And there we have it. All his athletes on his boat giving him the support. And this is one of the amazing things, you know, wherever it is the super pressure intensive World Championships, counting World Championships for these young athletes, or whether it is the fun coaches race, everyone is united as one.
That is right. It has been unreal following this highly anticipated race. But thank you so much for tuning in and watching.
It has been absolutely amazing. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been an awesome week here in Pwllheli. I've had a great time. I'm Rafty Reed. Okay, Kieran's just off for a sec.
Brilliant. And
Kieran's back.
have just been told they will be getting prizes at the prize giving tomorrow. So they have really earned their keep this week.
They have certainly earned this within this race. You know, it was all at stake. And there we have it.
It's tired, everyone.
That's Cam. What a don. What an absolute don.
We have been loving this. As you can see, the competitors make it look easy on the water.
Look at the seat. That's a good seat. What's it called, Kieran? What's the seat called?
The seat?
Yeah, look at the seat. It's the big... It's just a great seat.
It is a great
seat for the
number
rib.
one seat in the house.
Number one, the throne, the red throne out on the water. But what a race it has been. Yeah, so we do prize giving, right?
The coaches will be getting prizes at the prize giving tomorrow, so make sure you stay around for that. They have worked hard for this.
Thomas Brook on our screens as well. Belgium 176, great coach, great windsurfer. He was racing in IQ and now doing a bit of coaching as well. But what a way to finish this 2025 World Championships, finishing it off with some wicked fun.
Amazing. See you at the prize giving.
See you there.
You